Once again, welcome to just a personal update to COVID-19. Now, there's been a lot of conspiracy theories going around, people are now starting to panic, etc. The reality is, we don't know how this thing started. We know it come from China. It's pointless saying is that it's man-made, it was purposely released and things like that. It's just silly. The reality is, it's here, we've got to deal with it, we've got to get on with it. And we're starting to pull our socks up over in the UK, and we are actually to a point starting to return to normal. And I mean this by, first of all, looking at the supermarkets. Now, what we're discovering in the supermarkets is that the shelves are now almost back to full. You can get toilet roll, you can get pasta, you can get sauces, you can get milk, you can get cheese. In fact, at this point, I'm not even bothered photographing it today. I was in Asda and it looked pretty much back to normal. The only thing what is restricted on sale is toilet roll, sanitizer, all the things that was panic bought before. So, good on the supermarkets, even the leading ones, Asda, Tesco, Sainsbury's, Morrison's, they now seem to be recovering and people can now get the products that they want. However, still hat off to Aldi. They supported people far better through the panic buying, and they have made it so people's not gone without. So, and I do believe that Aldi has now announced is that there's no food restrictions at all. So, good on them, and let's hope is that we all remember when Aldi was there for us, we can be there for Aldi and continue to shop there. The only thing what I could say about shopping today is that I had to go to the chemist. They've had a 2 metre line up to now. Now they've actually put a glass panel in for extra protection for the staff, which is fair enough. I know this was done in Ireland a couple of weeks back, so it's nothing to panic about. It's just a little bit of extra safety as you get these glass panels round tills. If they help, then why not? However, the only big difference was queues. People's queuing outside with the trolleys, and it's not exactly a big deal. We can live with queuing up for a few minutes, and as you can see there, they've got lines on the floor so that we're at least 2 meters away from each other. Equally, in the bigger supermarkets, there's lines on the floor as you're meant to walk around, so it's almost like a little maze there. People was completely ignoring them from my experience today. And even saw a person walk past something, they want biscuits, which is 100 feet, but you're meant to walk all the way around, so you're walking in the right direction in the shopping aisle. They decided to walk backwards with the trolley, so it'd be easy to get the products. The UK people, eh? Who knows? Anyway, let's have a look at the numbers. And as I've said on previous videos, this becomes numbers. It's just number after number after number. These are stats taken from Worldometer. I take them every day. What we need to do is look at the trend. And looking at new cases over the past week, we've all been staying in. It has tried to go into the curvature and then it's dropped. But interestingly enough, yesterday in particular, we've had a spike and the spike drops again. Does this mean it's going away, or does this mean that things are getting worse? In reality, it doesn't mean either. What it means is there's more testing kits available from the government, has been promised over the last week, maybe a few weeks, and it looks like that they are actually being used. And that spike is just saying we're testing a lot more people, which will be patients, which will be NHS staff on the front line. You would expect a spike. What we need now is for this to more or less balance out and go into its curvature. Looking at deaths and recoveries, we've got exactly that. I know that on the news and things it says don't take this to heart. We're not looking for this curvature, but we've got it on deaths at this moment in time. I mean, this has been from now about 7:45 on the 6th of April, so the final totals are not in for today, but yesterday showed a drop. This to me gives us really good clear hope. Recoveries are still flatland. But, if there's less reported deaths, it's giving people more chance to recover, which is what we want and what would be a good thing. Looking at the trends generally, we can see is that it's still going up and up and up and up. It will. The main thing is the new cases. This thing is to keep an eye on. We don't want it to shoot up here. We want it to be nice and balanced and generally going back down. So, looking at this chart before, we had 1,692 deaths basically from the flu. That becomes irrelevant now because we've had 5,373 deaths, sadly. The government still predicts around 20,000. It's getting to that figure quite quickly. Now, one of the things what people are saying is that it's going to be thousands, hundreds of thousands, a million deaths. Looking at it realistically, so the population is 66.8 million people, quite a lot of people that live in the UK. And because the herd immunity was cut short, it was expected 60% of people actually catch the infection. So if we went for 42%, which is quite a low number, it covers just over 28 million people that's actually caught it. And looking at predicted death rates, that would be around 1%, could be as high as 4%, but more research is done, it looks like it's more for 1%. That would give us 280,000 people that would potentially die of COVID-19. And that's what people are saying. I said, let's make everybody panic. But there is a reality. And the reality is simply, let's go to Worldometer and let's have a look at the actual number of deaths. We go to the top here, we can see globally in 73,000 deaths. So it would be practically impossible, well, I wouldn't say impossible, it'd be highly unlikely we're going to get 280,000 deaths in the UK, considering there's been 73 up to now globally. And the second question, which is on everybody's lips, is why is China lying? There has been a few news reports saying that China's in recovery, things are getting a lot better. However, they could be lying, we can't trust the stats, etc, etc. Well, if you have a look at China, we had 3,331 deaths. And we can see the daily new cases is kind of at this curvature as we're doing now. There was a spike, but then it came down. We're hoping to avoid this spike simply because we're self-isolated, probably far quicker than what China did, but it's possible that we could hit that spike. However, it's come down quite nicely up to April. Second point is active cases. Once again, we have the curvature, what we want in the UK, and then it's come down quite nicely into April. The coronavirus deaths has come up, obviously, and then is more or less flatlined as only a few people are dying on each day, which is confirmed by this one, which is your daily deaths, which after the spike came back down until today we've hardly got any. One question is, based on what's happening in China, if these figures was actually untruthful and there was lying, then why would they be sending all the breathing, all the intensive care unit kits over here? Why are they bringing, that sort of stuff from China to the UK to help? Surely, if it was 50 times worse, if the conspiracy theory was correct, we was going to get 280,000 deaths in the UK, there'd probably be 1 million deaths in China by now. They wouldn't release medical equipment like that. So I look at the facts, and the facts say we're being supported by China now because they're in recovery. We're about 8 weeks behind them, maybe 12. So let's keep going. Let's stay in. Let's follow the government guidelines. Let's get rid of this. Let's beat it together. So there we go. That's all I wanted to say for this week. I'm hoping next week is going to look a lot more promising. Kind of looks promising this week, apart from obviously the deaths have gone up. Okay, thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.